Hello, everyone. We are in the session number 44 of computer network for the BSc 6M. Today, we are going to discuss how these different datagram forwarding and what are the different IP encapsulations. Right? There are the many technical aspects. Before we setting up a network, we always think that it's a level of feasibility. What do you mean by the level of feasibility? Okay, feasibility is a process, or feasibility is a mechanism, or feasibility technically we call as a solution. Before we setting up a computer network, before we setting up a technical uh, networking mechanism in a strategical located in a company always feels facilitate something or set up a computing to think for longer vision. Company will not compromise on the quality part of your backend system, because backend system is a nerve system of business. At the same time, they have a certain risk taking techniques or the risk mechanism. What happens here is, if company is not able to set up a proper security mechanism or isolated system, then they may compromise a different segmented part, or they may compromise their policies. So in this particular session, I will tell you how the datagram forwarding, because if any the small amount of a datagram which is reached to a person and a misuse of data reassembly at a reassembled and use it, so there is a lot more privacy and the security mechanism is concerned. So in a computer network, especially this topic deals with different security mechanism or different issues which are concerned in the form of a data packets. Data packets can be forwarded, datagrams can be forwarded by having certain kind of a mask or certain kind of protection mechanism. And this protection mechanism in technically we called as a datagram forwarding and encapsulate certain inherited properties that can be known by only the sender and the host, right? So this is a very actually a very brief session as compared to another technical session in a computer network. Here we are going to address only the two important things: is what is the benefit of IP datagram forwarding mechanism. If we cannot forward to a definitive address of it, then there is a violation of things. So we always keep a note, we always keep in our mind in the computer setup is IP datagrams are always a packets of data are sent across the multiple physical networks via the routers. When we say that multiple address are sent your data packets to a multiple physical networks, this means that your datagram becomes a public, your datagram becomes floating element or the floating entity in the public domain area. And this particular floating data element is floated, and it is skipped or it is maybe hacked or it is maybe reached to some unwanted destination. These datagram pays a huge amount of it. Means, so internet protocol always defines a universal virtual packet that is an IP datagram, and this is a mechanism or the simple logical mechanism to create how these IP datagrams plays an important role in a transmitted over a system for a longer term of implementation. Okay, when we see the longer term of implementation, this means that as long as you alive, means your service is alive, means your communication to another network is in alive. If your services is hampered, or if your services is truncated, or service is no more, then it is very difficult to sustain in the longer term of network communication system. In the network communication system, there are the many practical part that we need to understand. Regard to that, scanning of IP datagrams or understanding the content of IP datagrams, so we can call it as a synthesized datagrams or filtered datagrams or synchronized datagrams. So here, Internet Protocol defines a universal virtual packet that is known as an IP datagram. And the amount of data which is carried in a datagram is not fixed because it is determined by an application. But instead of that, this datagram plays a of dynamic hopping methods under payload mechanism. Okay, so we move on. One more important discussion is routers and the routing tables. As each router forwards a virtual packet, what is a router? Here, I just want to give you an idea. Technically speaking, router is, it routes the data of a particular destination when it consisted and what is mentioned, what particular data it has and what particular data it contains and whom it has to be, whom it should be transmitted. So once a router receives, it analyzes. So we can call the data packet analyzer. Once it analyzes, easily it will carry forward to a destination without the second thought. This everyone we can understand. But the condition here is, in the world of virtual data packets, when the local routing table has a certain amount of data to be transmitted, so when there is a huge number of payloads comes into a router will not tolerate to analyze it. It keeps holding. So many payloads in the router is always necessary to sketch in the form of like a queuing system. So these queue are a logical way of carry and forward. Carry and forward. And in the case of a carry and a forward, it has always a destination addresses. And these destination address in terms defines an amount of data which is supposed to be sent to a defined address. But when we say that defined an address to a particular task of where it has to be sent, in the over a period of a journey from X point to an Y point, there are n number of data packets which are floating along with that your addressed data packet. Means there are so many other network plays an important role. So this becomes a completely a mess. When it becomes a mess, it is difficult to identify our datagram or our data packets has some distinguished notations or distinguished color notations. This is called a Manchester coding methods. In the Manchester coding method, when you have a many number of similar kind of things, we categorize with the help of clustered them. If you cannot find a uniformity, if you cannot find the similar data object, similar data packets in the network, it is necessary to identify them. It is necessary to identify them with the help of a certain uniformity allocation. As we know that, I just want to give you a simple example. When there are the many number of students are studying, so each class, and to recognize that your school or your institution, we always follow the uniform structure. So if the student are wearing a uniform, this means that easily we can recognize, so this particular set of student belongs to our institution. So here, addressing an uniform and addressing with the help of masking them, that is the carrying the cultural identity of your school or an institution, is similar to a masking. So masking also provides a mechanism of holdout. So when the next hop arrives, IP address of a router or the delivery to a direct, it easily recognizes that how many number of data packets it has been initiated from this particular IP address. A similar IP address packets are synchronized or in the form of categorized to read what is a similar data type. I just want to give you one more simple story over here. If there is a network theft or there is an hacking person always, to complete the hack, he always uses one systematic and IP address. He does not hack partially in one system, partially in another system. Then you cannot able to send it and does the job of initiation. So to capture the data in a cyber crime, in a hacking system, we always have one important mechanism. This is how many data packets are sourced from one particular IP address, how many data packets are arrived from only the similar IP address. So physical recognition of this kind of an IP address is always helps to determine what type of IP address it is being initiated from the same IP number data amount. Then through that we can extract where it belongs to physically and where it is been located geographically and how many number of times the data particular thing with the similar IP address has been sent. So taking all this data, then we can analyze and we can mine the data to match with our criteria. If our criteria is a matching, this means that particular address of that is been matching, so that easily we can uh, capture the person who is behind that particular crime. This is one simple address to for a kind of an example which I am trying to give you. Another is a delivery direct. There's a many number of process being initiated, but at the nth time, if you deliver the direct, then it goes to address method without losing or without scattering them into the public domain. Then it does an address resolution method in the routers for creating a routing tables. This is an example of routing table. If you concentrate a simple, here is there is one particular IP address through a router R1. When 40.00 point, this is a one which is very essentially recognized of it. Right? Let me tell you, this particular data when we receive, it has to transmit and take a journey of this one, this one, this one, and this one. So, but this particular router, when it reaches to an header of it, it has its number, so reinitialized with the 30.0.7. Same time, when it transmit to one header to another, this datagram has this particular address. This datagram has this particular address. When it reaches to a second router, this particular datagram is remasked with a 0.08. So this is the same datagram. We are forwarding it to this one with these values. When this one router, this one router, this one, but all these three routers have uniform data but a different mask mechanism. Okay, in that if you look into this, what happens here is we say there are certain data packets are delivered directly, and there are the certain data packets with the mask one. If this kind of an heterogeneous, then difficult to reassemble are difficult for the people those who are hacking. So in a network administration, we always make sure that your data packet should be a masked, right? So this is another important concept we need to remember. Okay, we'll move on to the next important criteria over this is best effort delivery. So technique of best effort delivery is IP attempts an effort delivery and does not guarantee to deal with three important things. One is datagram duplication, where the possibility we always make an effort, but we cannot assure. This is a technique of a datagram. So datagram duplication may not be occurred. Delayed or the out of order delivery or the corruption of data, the corrupted data. It is the corrupted data and datagram loss in the transmission. These are the best effort delivery. We always ensure that things should happen accordingly. And these issues are dealt with in other protocol layers. This is a IP datagram header format. So in this header format, we always have, as I said, identification, versions, length of datagram, service type, and total length of a data diagram from 16 to 31 has a flags fragmented offset consisting of source IP address and a destination IP address. The problem here is source IP address and the destination IP addresses should be followed by one by another. So it's like a switch. And there are the certain options which we need to remember in the form of padding. Okay. Next is encapsulation. What do you mean by encapsulation? This is a many computer networks we'll discuss. When an IP diagram is sent across the physical network, it is placed in the data area of a frame and the frame type is set to an IP number. So it is like an association. I'll tell you what kind of an association. IP address has a frame header which is been masked over here. IP data area to be frame data. So what exactly data here is, we encapsulate it in the form of sending data packets, right? So this is a simple again, as I said, the explanation of how these source host changes according to net 1 to net 2, net 3 and so on. Okay, so it's the same thing again, header 1 followed by datagram, datagram followed by header 2 and header 3. Next is MTU and datagram sizes, maximum transmission unit, we call as an MTU. In the maximum transmission unit, a max of data that have frame can carry on a given network, which is of course in the form of an isolation. That isolation does not play an important role provided that MTU data should be carried out. And a packet may have a two cope up within a different MTU sizes is a passes over an internet, but it does not hamper the transmission over the different network using a router system, right? So this is a fragmentation. Again, I'll come back to further explanation of a fragmentation. A datagram that is a larger than MTU is fragmented into a smaller datagrams, which is I said that each IP header 1 and the data, and original datagram is divided into the defragmented one. It's a replica of IP header data 1, IP header 2, data 2, IP header 3, and data 3. So here what happens here is the same original data is being divided among the first one fragmented, second fragment, and third fragment, right? So these are the some essential component that are needed to address in the form of a transmissions, right? So in the next one, reassembly. So in this discussion, reassembly, it is done at the final host. Okay. Now the rotors require a less state information and fragments can take a different routes. So header fields indicates when the data is fragment and also where it belongs to it. So I just want to give you an idea about how these reassembly carried. So if you received the datagrams has to be get isolated and has to be get assembled at one place, and that place in which that all the reinitialization is been carried out, called the reassembly. It done at the final host, of course. In between cannot be possible, and from the source reassembly is not possible, and the fragments can take a different routes. And each time when we read at the reassembly site, it is always necessary to read the header first and cluster them, because in the transmission most of the data packets are lost, and most of the data packets when it lost, it has an implication in a standard method of reassembly. So when a header fields indicates when the data is fragmented, then easily by reading the header content, we can come to know that where exactly this particular packet to be categorized or to be segmented for further reading the data content. And a whole datagram is lost if any fragment is lost. This is a very sad part of your datagram packets. That's what they said, that one particular data packet we lost in the receiving a particular file, then immediately you get an answer that this particular file is get corrupted. Okay, so we'll continue the discussion. This is a writing down IPv6 addresses mechanism. It replaces the dotted decimal rotations when compact colon hexadecimal is to be followed in the form of IP address, and zero compression further reduces a space for in a reassembly as well as encapsulation, right? So this is a datagram format. Datagram format includes a base header and an optional extension of an headers. So why I want to tell you, the base header is always a foundational header, which gives us a much scope for understanding what are the different optionals are exhibiting in the same data packets. Your base header gives an idea that how many extension of that particular header one is carrying. So header 1 to header 2, n number of extension can be carried according to the size of it, and data area which is noted over here. This is a simple datagram format, and datagram format includes base header and optional extension headers. It saves the space. A typical application will only use a few IPv6 facilities, and the protocol can extend it up to support a new features without being redesigned. We move on to the next important discussion to our next sessions. Meanwhile, just concluding how IP datagram plays an important role in functioning the many important sources under the category of a computer network. Thank you very much for having your mere participation in understanding these are different IP forwarding mechanism and encapsulation for the different classes. As I said, different classes in the sense whatever the categorical addressing are there, all this is useful this particular topic. So meanwhile, you take a notes of and all the important this thing. Along with this particular units, we are providing study material and PPTs, loading of a PPTs and video sessions. Please go through it. If any doubts are there, keep in touch with the respective academic leaders who are in the e-contain. Till then, have a good time. Thank you.